Dracula!
What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Rack2501 here. Alright, with an interesting video here. Alright, this is once again another thing by Commissar Gamza. And this is Could the Dark Lord Survive in Warhammer 40k? I did Doomslayer, now it's time for his other half, the Dark Lord. Snort. Yeah, spring is coming and plant sex is in the air everywhere, so it's messing up with my allergies. Anyway, so let's see what he's got to say about this and go.
Why, hello there everybody, welcome to this video. So today we're going to be exploring could the Dark Lord from Doom survive in a Warhammer 40k universe. If you guys have not seen the ending of Doom Eternal, the Ancient Gods Part 2, there's likely going to be some spoilers in here for you, so just be warned. And very quickly, before we get this video started, if you enjoy this video, I ask that you please subscribe. About 70% of the viewers who watch my videos are not subscribed, so if you enjoy, I ask that you help me. Thank you, and let's get on with this video. Alright, so the Dark Lord is the one who rules over hell and all of its demons. He is basically Satan,
but a warrior.
So we are told. Spoiler alert! So basically, well, it turns out that the Dark Lord is actually the creator himself. And it was his creations that banished him and stole his powers and his name. So technically speaking, he's the father, and the current man who is calling himself the father is the usurper. Boy, oh boy, do I have a lot to say about that, but we won't do that in this video. For now, let's continue. So kind of dialing this back a bit, if we stick with the original story of the Dark Lord to make a little bit more sense of all of this, without going into too many theories.
He literally had to break out the whole Buster armor to fight the Slayer.
Off into his own dimension, which was hell. Him fighting against that and invading other dimensions or other universes and conquering them was his way of fighting back against those and his own creation essentially that imprisoned him. With all this garbage thrown together, essentially what we have here is bare minimum a multiversal being. However, before he was usurped, he technically should have been an outerversal being because he was the one that created all these universes to begin with. However, him having lost his power and his title is still a multiversal being, which means he's still
can't wait to have that hammer
and could very well regain his status. This is going too far. We have to remember that there's so much ambiguity when it comes to like lore, when it comes to Doom, video games, all kinds of stuff in general, because people don't want to write too many specifics. They don't want to complete a story here and there, and so you have ambiguity, which makes you go, what could it possibly be? And it allows them to create further stories and more games down the line. I'm getting way too much into this. Let's continue. So for the sake and simplicity of this video, we're going to say that it's going to be the Dark Lord who opens up a portal to a new realm, which is going to be the Warhammer 40k universe.
As he runs from the Slayer like a little bitch.
He was turned essentially into a life sphere when he still had his physical body to actually invade with. And we're going to say that it's going to be the Dark Lord by himself, not his entire legions upon legions upon legions of demons. Just him by himself. But wait, Gamza, what can the Dark Lord even do? I'll tell you, Tristan, and that is he's essentially almost on par with the Doomslayer when it comes to physical strength, speed, etc. However, it does seem to appear that the Dark Lord should have the power to create demons, to corrupt other people. Even though we've never seen him use these abilities, obviously he should have them because that was the whole point of him being able to raise an army of demons and invade other dimensions. I think ultimately it is a testament to
except he got a shield.
I mean, if you have your power and your title stripped from you, but you are still strong enough to invade other dimensions and take over them entirely, you still got to be quite the badass to be able to do that in your nerfed version of yourself. Not to mention, the more he kills, the stronger he gets. Alright, I think that's plenty of explanation for the Dark Lord. Let's go ahead and say he opens up his zipper. That's a portal, I was not trying to say here. And he just dives right through that. He ends up in the Warhammer 40k universe, and he goes, you know what? I didn't create this universe. This must be a creation of the man who usurped me. This isn't a realm that I simply want to take over and bring under my heel. This is a dimension that I want to collapse and destroy entirely. entirely because it's not of my own creation.
Chaos might have something to say about that.
Upon unzipping his pants and
Oh my
stepping
God, he
through
gets to
that
ride a
portal
dragon.
into the Warhammer 40k universe, the first thing that's going to happen is the warp entities, specifically the Chaos Gods, are the ones that are going to feel this new presence.
They're going to notice
They will be half intrigued and they will be half threatened by it. Now, why? Because the Chaos Gods do not like each other. They see each other as competition.
And he kind of is a Chaos
they'd wring
God.
the other one's neck out and kill him. Unless you're Slanesh, they'd probably do some other things to your corpse. Let's not talk about it. The other thing
No,
that they're not gonna
don't
like
wanna
is the
talk
fact
about that.
this new Dark Lord is actually
Not safe for
walking
work.
in the physical realm, not in the warp. So this is competition that sits outside their realm and that they do not have direct control over and they cannot confront directly. Now the reason why I chose the Dark Lord by himself without his endless legions of demons is because this makes it more interesting. Whenever you say the Warhammer 40k universe, all you are really talking about here is our Milky Way galaxy. That's where pretty much the entire 40k universe takes place. The only thing that takes place outside of our Milky Way galaxy in the 40k universe is just the Tyranids. We don't know exactly where they came from, we just know that they came from another galaxy. That's basically it.
And they're coming because they haven't arrived
the Warhammer
yet.
40k universe is quite small. However, the Dark Lord still technically is one person, so he's going to need to be able to bring his influence and build up an army to actually destroy itself, essentially. I think the Dark Lord would be able to influence some of the people inside the Imperium of Man, especially when it comes to his ability to share with them a piece of Argent energy. They would likely be very intrigued by this new type of technology slash energy that he could bring them, and he could also pull them under his wing. This would get the scrutiny of probably Inquisitors involved, which
the Inquisitors will be the first to be corrupted.
War. Now imagine this, that the first war that happens, the Dark Lord was able to recruit, let's say, 10 million hive gangers. He promised them power, he gave them Argent energy, but he united all of their banners underneath his name. And so now you've got the Inquisition that's fighting against this new Dark Lord, who they don't really know about yet. They probably just think he's a Chaos worshipper with all of his cultists that need to be killed. However, these guys are bringing to bear new Argent energy weapons, and these things are going to just be burning through everything that the Inquisitors can throw at them. Why
Powerful
is this?
shit.
One of the things that a lot of 40k fans, when it comes to Doom versus 40k, that don't understand, Argent energy is like pure plasma that burns hotter than any plasma that we know of today. These things will melt space marines like throwing boiling water onto a snowman. And to top it off, this plasma has been shown to be very stable, especially when it's the Dark Lord, who's basically going to be the master of it, who can share his own Argent energy with other people. Now, let's say he wins the first couple of wars. This doesn't mean that his men are invincible. He could easily suffer massive casualties. But what the Inquisition is going to receive is also mass casualties. Now, the Imperium of Man can keep throwing numbers and numbers and numbers at the Dark Lord. But with just a couple of victories, you are going to attract a lot of extra people who want to join in on your side. Keep in mind, there are a lot of worlds and billions of people who do not want to be a part of the Imperium of Man no more. The only reason why they are a part of the Imperium of Man and that civil war isn't just strife all over the place is because the Imperium has an iron grip on a lot of worlds. But if they find out that somebody is rebelling and somebody is actually gaining victories and let's say gains a couple of planets, there are going to be more people who are willing to jump on board, especially when they find out, hey, whoever this new guy is that's leading these campaigns against the Imperium of Man, not only is he gaining ground, but he has this new thing called Argent energy that he's sharing with anybody who is actually going to fight under his banner. We need better energy. Our planet is polluted. People are dying left and right. And if I'm a rich governor or I want more power or more prosperity or a better, bigger name for myself, give me some of that Argent energy and I'll send, you know, 1 billion soldiers your way that you can use as you see fit. This is going to spark an enormous response from the Inquisition. You're going to be looking at Sisters of Battle, Imperial Guards, Space Marines, Grey Knights. All of these things are going to be coming towards him. However, with Argent energy, his military will be able to respond accordingly. Again, this doesn't mean that his soldiers are invincible. He's going to suffer massive casualties, but all this is going to do is provoke probably the response even from Guilliman, because he can't afford to have his Imperium in a civil war and in shambles.
Nice choice of picture
because
right there,
not
too.
only is this questioning the Emperor's Imperium and now Guilliman's control and his authority, it's also going to weaken the Imperium of Man man overall. Every planet that they lose is resources that they lose, whether that be manpower or raw materials or technology, etc. Now, before we get on into Guilliman, I would also like to talk about chaos.
Guilliman.
You see, if cultists turn from the chaos gods and they start worshiping this new Dark Lord because he's actually giving them the gifts that they always desired. Cultists are just greedy, power-hungry, narcissistic, dirty, psychopathic bastards, okay? All they want is power. They don't really care about the chaos gods. They care about power. If he can give them direct argent energy and empower them in some way, they will turn from the chaos gods. Why would I have to do a bunch of rituals and kill a bunch of people and sacrifice a bunch of bullshit when I could literally just go to this guy and he'll give me argent energy and all I gotta do is go fight the Imperium, which I don't like anyways. So once chaos starts losing its followers, I can imagine that the chaos gods would start sending berserkers, their loyal subjects, you know, like whether it be demons or their own cultists, to go and stop this Dark Lord, because now he is directly pulling worshippers away from them and to him. And the chaos gods are utterly greedy and powerful. They will share their power with absolutely nobody. And so now this means that this new Dark Lord is facing down two entire massive deadly empires, the Imperium of Man and Chaos itself. Alright boys, now it's time for my massive wild card that I've been wanting to, I just been dying to throw this in here. This is gonna be when all seems like it's grim and dark as it should be in the Warhammer 40k
grim and dark,
and this Dark Lord is facing down two massive empires that are now starting to do like a pincer move and close in on him. His casualties are mounting, his followers are dying. He's gonna be visited by something new. Although it's gonna be space marines, these guys are gonna have the stench of the warp on them. The Dark Lord will turn to them and say, what is it that you want? Why have you sought an audience with me? These new space marines that are clad in black and white power armor would say, you are fighting against the forces of chaos. Your enemy is our enemy. You have found an ally within us. Give us argent energy and you will have a new legion of space marines to fight against the forces of chaos with you. This legion is called the Sons of Malice. And thus the wild card is Malal, or Malice himself. This is the fifth chaos god of anarchy. His whole purpose is to fight against the greater chaos gods and to fight against authority, to rebel and usurp those that are in power. Now, children, calm down, calm down. There's gonna be a lot of fake Warhammer 40k fans that say that Malal, or Malice, is no longer canon. What they fail to understand is that his name was changed for copyrighted reasons. He's basically just Malice now. So don't you dare jump into my comment section telling me that Malice doesn't exist no more. I'll give you flashbacks of high school, boy. I'll take your lunch money from you. Anyways, getting back on topic. So, given that the Dark Lord is essentially usurping the Chaos Gods, whether it be directly or indirectly, this is going to provoke the rage of the Chaos Gods, which is going to make Malice very, very happy. He's gonna see this as an opportunity to jump in and finally do what he does best, and that is bring down the other Chaos Gods, create what we call real chaos. Alright, let's summarize this very quickly and lay this down. The Dark Lord's rebellion, along with his followers, empower Malice, because that's what the Chaos God is empowered by. Chaos, in other words, the other four Chaos Gods, move against the Dark Lord, who is stealing their worshippers. Malice sees this as an opportunity to usurp the Chaos Gods. Because Malice has become more powerful, he further enhances his Sons of Malice to fight against the coming Chaos followers who are trying to stop the Dark Lord from further diminishing their numbers and worshippers. The Sons of Malice who have joined with the Dark Lord are further enhanced by Argent Energy. So they are basically empowered by two gods now, which is going to be Malice and the Dark Lord's energies. Because Malice's power begins to grow, so does his influence, which means he could probably somehow find a way to recruit more Marines to join the Sons of Malice, but also at the same time, tons of new followers from Imperial worlds all over the place. Right here, we have a massive force to fight against against the coming chaos forces that are trying to stop the Dark Lord. This means he can then take his forces and redouble his efforts towards the Imperium of Man. I mean, you could easily say a few hundred years later and many wars, you're gonna have guilliman meet on the battlefield against the Dark Lord. Now, I gotta be completely honest with you.
Guilliman.
The threats that the Dark Lord has went up against and conquered versus what guilliman has gone up against and conquered is nothing in comparison. The Dark Lord would win hands down. I don't even think guilliman could make him break a sweat.
You would need the God Emperor, man.
And his Emperor and the Imperium and the Mechanicus couldn't even conquer a single galaxy. The Dark Lord has went up against basically gods, destroyed them, conquered universes, okay? Not galaxies, universes, with their gods along with them. The death of guilliman is also going to be a symbolic one of the death of the Imperium, because that's what's going to follow next. This doesn't mean that the Imperium of Man is just going to throw its hands and give up. No, the Imperium of Man is able to survive without the Emperor and without any of the Primarchs, and that's the system that's going to have to go back to. However, without the guidance of guilliman, it is going to get considerably weaker, and because of that, it's going to allow someone as powerful as the Dark Lord with his mass armies and his argent energy to simply overtake the Imperium of Man. Another thing that I want to mention here is most likely with the fall of guilliman is going to come with the fall of the Ultramarines. Now, I know that there's a lot of memes surrounding the Ultramarines, the greatest of them all,
Ultra Smurfs.
but if we take the lore a little bit more seriously, the Ultramarines are very pinnacle in the Imperium of Man. They are the poster child, yes, but they also have very prospering planets, a lot of resources to pull from, and they have always been a very successful chapter. However, given the fall of guilliman, I also have a feeling that the Ultramarines, one, they're never going to leave his body on the battlefield or whatever remains of it. They're going to fight tooth and nail, and they're going to throw the entire chapter trying to retrieve his body or to avenge him. It's not going to work. That Ultramarine chapter is going to get obliterated in that process. And when that happens, the Imperium of Man gets considerably weaker because now you don't even have your poster boys anymore to defend you. I think this is going to allow the Dark Lord to eventually take over the Imperium of Man, infuse the Imperium of Man with Argent energy, giving him full control over them. Now, to turn our attention from the Imperium of Man that is now under the heel of the Dark Lord, we're going to still have the forces of chaos that are upset, angry, and throwing everything at this new Dark Lord's empire. The Sons of Malice and all the other people who are their followers are going to be fighting these chaos forces tooth and nail. Now, they're probably going to be getting pushed back, honestly, because you're going to have Abaddon, the Despoiler, you're going to have Karn, probably even the Demon Primarchs coming after this Dark Lord the whole time that this is going on. And even though the Sons of Malice would be very empowered by Argent energy and Malice himself, I think eventually it would be like a slow losing war, like a trench warfare where you're slowly being pushed back. Now, if this war were just the Sons of Malice by themselves, they would have lost already. I'm also counting the Sons of Malice along with the billions of humans that are going to be following either the Dark Lord or Malice that are going to be fighting off and trying to hold off chaos to begin with. And it's because of the Argent energy which is going to allow them to be able to fight this type of war for as long as they're going to be doing it. But they're going to need the Dark Lord to really push the war in their favor. Another wild card. This is going to be the dirty, filthy space elves, Eldar.
The hell, dude?
You see, the Eldar have always been fighting against the forces of chaos. Although, specifically, the one they hate the most is Slaanesh, because they gave birth to it. I think the whole time that this Dark Lord was fighting off the Imperium of Man, you would have Eldar not sitting idle. They would likely be picking off the forces of Slaanesh wherever they could, or even just the forces of chaos in general.
What about Dark
They don't
Eldar?
like chaos. It is a threat to them. And so why sit idly by when the forces of chaos are meeting a new enemy? You could sit in the shadows and sabotage their weapon supplies, you know, try to tangle up some of their reinforcements so that way they overall lose the war, etc. The Eldar, even though they're lame, are not dumb. I don't think that they would ever want to interact with the Dark Lord. They would only see this as an opportunity for them, their race, to gain a better foothold and more resources and make more progress in their overall survival and war against chaos. Alright, all that being said, we're going to say that the Dark Lord, once he's done conquering the Imperium of Man, he's going to turn around and redouble his efforts against the forces of chaos that are still going to be coming after him. Remember, even without the
Their
chaos
numbers are
gods
virtually
themselves,
limitless,
Chaos
though.
Space Marines still feel that the Imperium of Man, Earth, all of it still belongs to them. And so regardless, they're always going to try to conquer it. But they are going to meet the brick wall that is the Dark Lord's abs. Fast forward once again a few hundred years and many many wars, I think you're going to have an even higher powered up Abaddon the Despoiler versus the Dark Lord. Now, the reason why Abaddon would, I think, at this point be ultra hyped up, almost at Super Saiyan levels, is because the Dark Lords from the Warp want the Dark Lord from the material realm dead. He is their competition. They want him dead. They would probably rather have their feud amongst their actual brothers than this like outsider in the material realm. So they're probably going to pump this guy full of warp energies, hoping that he can slay this Dark Lord. To which, again, I'm going to say, while this new Abaddon is probably going to be a lot stronger than Guilliman, he's not going to be strong enough to kill a multiversal threat. Somebody that is used to conquering whole universes, not somebody who can't even conquer a simple galaxy. I think most of the Chaos Space Marines would be obliterated. Legions of them would be dead. At this point, the Dark Lord is going to turn his attention to the Sons of Malice. Why? I think eventually he's going to know that Malice himself is not loyal. The only reason why he's doing this is because he wants to kill the other Chaos Gods. The Dark Lord has been betrayed before, and I think he's going to take steps to ensure that it never happens again. I can imagine him pulling the Argent energy away from all the servants of Malice, and then ordering his forces to kill whatever's left and weaken. Malice himself honestly wouldn't mind, because this is what he's made out of. Betrayal, usurping, anarchy, and he'd be like, hey, cool, man, I would have done the same thing. Now, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other questions here, because this doesn't quite wrap up everything. I think when it comes to stuff like the Necrons, the Tyranids, the Orcs, there's going to be plenty of wars to fight against them. Remember, the Dark Lord's own purpose here is to destroy this universe. He doesn't really care about ruling over it. I do think that eventually the Chaos Gods would be so weakened from the amount of pure destruction and killing of his followers, and that this new Dark Lord would have a lot more servants, because again, people will follow a winner. If he takes over the Imperium of Man, let's say he crushes the Eldar eventually, he crushes the Necrons, you might have people even like the Tau that say, okay, do we want to face extinction or just join his side? They probably would just join his side. When you have a full united force this way that's also pumped full of Argent energy, you're probably going to get the Dark Lord that's going to throw all of it at the Tyranids and kill them, even though I know that's easier said than done. That's a huge number. We don't know how many damn Tyranids are out there. But when you're infused with Argent energy and you've got multiple factions under your banner, all united with one purpose, and chaos is basically like a sleepy eye, like falling asleep because they're losing so much power, I think you have a much better chance going up against the Tyranids at this point, rather than fighting a fractured force against the Tau, the Eldar, the Necrons, and also trying to fight off the Tyranids at the same time. It's better to crush the small guys and then focus on the big guy in the end. Uh-oh, we got ourselves another wild card. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is going to be, imagine that the Dark Lord finds out about the Nightbringer, the Catan god, who only cares about wiping out the life in the entire galaxy, and technically has the power to do it. Imagine him reassembling those Catan shards into a full-fledged Nightbringer once again. This would be like unleashing a Roomba vacuum to do all the work for you. The Nightbringer just starts going berserk, wanting full revenge against the Necrons, and if the Dark Lord then takes his forces and throws them at the Necrons as well, who cares if he loses tens of billions of guys or something? He could throw the whole Imperium. He doesn't care. He wants them all dead anyways. So he could throw all that at the Necrons, obliterate them, and then just let the Nightbringer suck up everybody else. There are probably 1,000 different ways that the Dark Lord can destroy the Warhammer 40k universe. I mean, you could even just say, okay, he opens up portals, turns people into demons, or he goes into the warp and enslaves those demons and makes them work for him. There's so many different things that you can do here. It's kind of fun to kind of go back and forth to see how certain things would work, but overall, I think the Dark Lord would do really good in the Warhammer 40k universe. I don't think he would seek to rule anything. I think he would seek to utterly destroy it, because one, again, it's not one of his creations. He might see it as a creation from the father who usurped him, and thus, why bring it under your control when you can just utterly destroy it? Oh, shoot, we got ourselves another wild card here,
Seriously,
boys.
dude?
That is, the Dark Lord finally decides to go into the warp to destroy the Chaos Gods. And he notices that it's actually quite calm in there, and he's going, what's going on over here? And then all of a sudden, in the very vast distance, he hears all this heavy metal rock music, and then he just sees this little green guy and a swarm of demons just ripping and tearing everything, and he's like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. I completely forgot that Gabza threw the Doomslayer in the warp. I should never have came. But it's too late, because the Doomslayer turns around and looks at the Dark Lord and says, huge guts. and just
Huge
sprints
guts.
faster than light towards the Dark Lord as the Eye of Terror slowly closes shut, never to be seen again. And all that's left in the end, in the material realm, is the Nightbringer just breakdancing in the middle of the universe, just
Breakdancing,
killing
doing the
everything in
Fortnite
sight.
dance.
And thus, both the Dark Lord and the Doomslayer win in the end. Alright guys, that's gonna end this video. Thank you very much for watching.
Interesting,
If you
you
made
missed
it
a
to
few
the
points
end
there.
and you enjoy these types of videos, I please ask you,
But still
join
pretty
me
good.
on my journey. Help me
Also,
out
the
here
gameplay
if
he's showing
I've
is showing
given
some
you
badass
any
scenes.
sense of entertainment. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, like and share this content. It takes hours and hours to create. It only takes a few seconds to click those buttons, and that would help me out a great deal. So thank you once again. I appreciate you watching, and I'll have more for you later.
Later. Oh wait, what the hell?
Will I find your arms open? It will. A true son. Never.
Dude, he's just beating his ass right there. Bang, bang. I gotta play that one. One of the guys gave it to me as a present. So I gotta play that Space Marine. Anyway, so yeah, could the Dark Lord survive with Warhammer 40k? Yes, I don't think it would go exactly how he says. I don't know how he would feel about just straight up destroying it, but I think it would still be something very interesting. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I did. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share it on social media, and of course, click on the link to the original down in the description. Get down to Commissar Gamza's channel and give him a like on the original and sub to him. I will see you guys next time. Tune in every day for new content. Bye-bye.